Hello, Black Eagles fans. Kaan and Kartal back on the scene here. We have some news to report, or just some stuff to talk about. Lots of things happened today. The big bomb burst. José Mourinho is headed to Fenerbahçe. I think we kind of saw that one coming, didn't we, Kartal?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did see
had
it
been hanging in the air a little bit, hadn't it? Last week or so, after Hüseyin Yücel opened up his mouth. After the Hatay game, which is, that's been 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, 13 days, so almost 2 weeks exactly.
Yeah, we had we did our episodes not too long after on José Mourinho.
A record-breaking episode.
Yeah, for sure. So if only there was an English-speaking Fenerbahçe podcast to capitalize on that now, but there is one. I know that there's the This Is Kadıköy podcast, but I don't know
if that's still active.
I don't know either, actually, because I don't know. Anyway, so the big bomb burst. That's pretty big news in Beşiktaş Twitter as well, of course, because of Hüseyin Yücel. Yeah, exactly. So Hüseyin Yücel also issued a statement at 2:45 Central European time today, so 3:45 Turkish time, 2:45 for you. Issued a statement basically explaining the situation from his point of view. He didn't apologize for opening his big mouth, but he did clarify.
Yeah, he should have always apologized in mind.
I think so. I think maybe he shouldn't have apologized necessarily. I think he just sort of said something along the lines of, it was a mistake to make this public, or something like that. I should not have made it public at the time. I don't think, you and a couple of our friends, we were talking about it this entire afternoon in WhatsApp, and a couple of the guys were saying he's kind of contradicting himself. I didn't really think so from the message. Did you think he was contradicting what he said earlier, 2 weeks ago?
I think he did, bro, because he said that everything's sorted, it's up to us, and then now he's saying that they got up from the table because those things they couldn't agree on. So to me, that is going back on what he said 2 weeks ago, which I think is unacceptable.
If you remember, though, he kind of backtracked. You remember he did like 7 or so television appearances, and initially he sounded more like it's basically positive. Done, and then later on he was a little bit more.
Yeah, it was 51% or whatever. But the facts are, he did say initially, if we want Mourinho, he's coming. So to then go and say, we got up from the table because we couldn't agree on things, I think that's unacceptable, to be honest. And I don't think that's a reasonable explanation as to what happened. He could have said something like, we decided that better candidates would be better suited to our needs. Maybe could have used his style of football as an example, but just saying there's things we couldn't agree on, so we got up from the table. I don't think that's an acceptable excuse, to be honest.
I do think he said. Did he say in the tweet that they did agree on personal terms? I think something along those lines, right?
I can't recall, to be honest. I can't recall seeing anything like that.
I thought it was. From what I saw from the tweet, I got the impression that that there wasn't an agreement for him to come, but that he also said this 2 weeks ago, that there was still going to have to be a meeting a week later. And the impression I got is that they couldn't actually agree on a transfer budget or something along those lines. That's the impression I got from the tweet, is that personal terms were fine and he was ready to come in that regard, but then they couldn't agree on squads, putting the squad together or something like that. That's the impression I got from it.
Yeah, I didn't get that impression. Maybe it's been a couple of hours since I read it, so maybe I need to refresh on what he wrote. But
I'm trying to find my phone right now so I can bring it up again.
From what I recall, it was he just kind of said that we didn't agree, so we got up from the table. Because obviously when we're doing the broadcasting, I use my phone as the output, so
you know what?
I can't go back and check it.
You know what I'll do? I'll bring the tweet up so you can actually see it in a second. But yeah, no, I got that sense from it, from what how I interpreted the tweet, so to speak. But it's a very long tweet. I have to zoom out a little bit so I can. Holy shit, that's a fucking long ass tweet. All right. I mean, but I do think, like, in the group chat, like, I think mainly Özcan, your brother, he was very pissed off, to say the least, and rightfully so. I think
I was pissed off as well.
I was. You know what? For me, it also kind of put like a little bit of a. I wasn't in a good mood at the time. Like, and to be fair, like, I already kind of felt it happening, because I don't know if you remember. But I told you, like, a couple of days after the Hüseyin Yücel statement, I said, like, the signs aren't looking like it's gonna happen, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, no, you did. Yeah, you did say that.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I felt it coming for a while, and I kind of knew it was gonna happen. And we've been through similar situations. As Beşiktaş fans in the past, right? So we kind of know what this kind of stuff feels like. I mean, just last season with the whole Dusan Tadic thing, we kind of knew we had a similar experience. It was a little bit quicker this time around. The turnaround was a little bit quicker, I felt like.
I mean, the thing is, though, Kaan, is we voted. We didn't vote because we are not Congress members, but we supported Hassan Arat because it was meant to be something different.
Yeah, for sure.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be about, like, running the club in a corporate manner, professionally. And Hüseyin Yücel's actions weren't corporate; they weren't professional. Talking about Mourinho as if it's basically done. Going channel to channel, asking if people would rather Talisca or Mourinho. I mean, it's almost as if he's like a 17-year-old kid. Here's
the statement, by the way. Do you want to give it a read?
It's a bit small. Let's see it again.
Can you see it?
I can see it now, yeah.
So I'm just going to bring it up on my second screen and read it as well. Let's see, because it's in Turkish, obviously. So if you don't understand Turkish, I'm just going to be lazy and read the translation. Dear Beşiktaş fans, it has become necessary to make a statement in order to prevent the spread of misinformation regarding the issue of Beşiktaş's coach for the new season, which has been discussed in the football public for a while. Within the scope of our technical director's studies, we contacted José Mourinho with the knowledge of our president Hassan Arat and our transfer committee. And the negotiations progressed positively. Ideas were exchanged with Mourinho on many football-related issues, and consensus was reached. However, our failure to find common ground on certain items caused us to leave the table. This is what makes me suspect it had to do with transfer budget and things like along those lines. Because I think on a personal level, they reached an agreement. Because he literally says that almost, like he says, the consensus was reached, blah, 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 blah. The issue, the reason... I
mean, if that's the case, he could have made it clearer. He could have said...
Yeah. But that's another one of those things, though, I think, in Turkey. Like, they don't like admitting that there isn't money. You know what I mean? They don't like saying that out loud. So or maybe not that there isn't any money, but, like, for example, like what I'm hearing is that Mourinho was expecting 100 million euros transfer budget. That is not going to happen.
I don't see Fenerbahçe being able to do that either, though. That's the thing. They may have promised it, but I don't think they can spend 100 million.
I don't know, man. They're spending, according to Yais, they're spending 46 to 47 million euros on 2 years on Mourinho. That's 23 to 23.5 million euros per year. So if you're spending that alone on the coach, then you're gonna have to make a serious investment in the squad, right? Like
he'll be asking Daddy for a lot of money. We'll have to, I think, to spend that much. But I don't think it's realistic, to be honest. But it'd be better for us
himself.
If they did all.
Ali Koç himself is worth 1.6 billion, so he can spend his own money. He's already pumped like 50 million of his own money into the club last year, I think.
Yeah, but 100 million in one go seems a bit of a stretch, to be honest.
It's a lot of money, but yeah, I mean, he's not alone, right? Saran is joining his board, and
Arjun as well.
Arjun is also joining his board, so like if they all dip in 30 million, you never know, right?
Who knows, man? But I mean, we should just kind of stick to Beşiktaş here. Quite frankly, I'm just not happy with Hüseyin Yücel. I think he should have apologised today. If he actually said, "Look, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that," I would have had a lot more respect for him. But he almost kind of doubled down in a sense. But at least he did kind of reassure us that don't worry, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be good. So at least he did offer that reassurance. But I would have preferred. I mean, even if it wasn't an apology, just even if he acknowledged that it was a mistake, I think that would have been fine.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. But I do have to say, like, I think like 15 minutes before he actually made his tweet, I think we had some people in our group chat going, they're just going to hide from it now. They're just going to act like it never happened.
Yeah, I said that, to be honest. I did say that.
I don't remember who said it. And,
I said it myself, yeah.
I didn't say it, but I felt that as well. I thought this is just going to be Dusan Tadic again. And they're just going to act like it never happened, and they're just going to ignore it. And at least I want to give credit to Hüseyin Yücel. Like, he did man up enough to acknowledge it and own that part of it. But it would have been nice had he actually gone a little bit further and said, I made a mistake and I apologize for that. I think that would have been... If he would have done that, I wouldn't even be mad anymore, I think. Because it's like,
Yeah.
I understand maybe they had a very positive meeting with Mourinho and everything was basically agreed personally. And maybe he thought, that we can probably agree on the transfer budget and we are going to fork out 40 million euros. And then they had the meeting and Mourinho is like, I want 100 million euros or 150 million euros. Whatever, and they were like, huh? It's possible, right? That scenario is not unthinkable, I think. So yeah, like, I mean, I'm not, obviously, I'm not gonna backtrack and act like I never wanted Mourinho in the first place, because I definitely did. And you were very much on the other side of the fence, right? You were not as keen on Mourinho.
But I think that the thing is, Kaan, I wasn't that keen on Mourinho, but we've been made to look at right full now, So I'd much rather have just kept his mouth shut. And then, I mean, see, I did concede as well. As much as I don't think Mourinho is the right guy, so to speak, for us just now. I mean, it would have still been very exciting if he came. So I think if you're going to mention Mourinho, it has to be someone of that calibre, which that's not going to happen if you don't get Mourinho. No one in his caliber, because who really is it in his caliber?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you're not gonna get Pep, you're not gonna get Klopp, you're not gonna get Ancelotti. You're not.
You can make a slight argument for Tuchel because he's been a bit more successful in recent years, but he's still not even the same caliber.
He's not. No, like I mean, Jose Mourinho in the last 20 years is a top 3 manager. Like, I mean, just the amount of attention Fenerbahce is going to get now is ridiculous. And congratulations to them for that. Like, I think it's a massive coup to sign Mourinho. And, like, I see a lot of people now trying to find negatives about this. And, like, those are the same people that would have, if he came to us, would have been finding all the positives, right? Like, I don't think that's necessary. Congratulations to Fenerbahce. They signed a brilliant coach, and I think that's gonna be definitely going to add a lot of flair to the league next season. And now, like, I'm not even mad about Mourinho going there because I know my club. I know we can't afford 100 million in transfer budget. That's just not gonna happen. But like I think Hüseyin Yücel should have just kept his mouth shut. And we even said it at the time, right? Like, even if it's a done deal, it's still a waste to reveal it, because you could have had an amazing
Cup final reveal.
Yeah, you could have had an amazing reveal, but even then, it's still, you know, like, just should have kept your mouth shut, even if it was done, and if it's not done, especially shouldn't have said anything. And I just don't understand why he put his foot in his mouth. I really hope that he learned his lesson now, and that it's never gonna happen again.
If this happens again, he needs to fuck off, man. That's the reality. Like, part of me, to be honest, thinks that he should go just now, like just him. But I also do realise that we probably do need his money. So, and that's why he was brought into the board in the first place, as a financial backer of sorts. But I mean, if he's at least realised his mistake and isn't going to do it again, and is going to be more careful in the future, that's fine. I mean, but I would have liked that acknowledgement that he did make that mistake. So if he's learned from this, at least that is something to take away. And I mean, I suppose that's good enough. That way, we're not losing. We won't be losing out in that financial benefit of having a guy like him on board as well.
A lot of emotional responses on Twitter as well from fans, understandably so.
Me too, man.
I
put an X through his face and wrote Eastie fan for it up.
I mean, I wrote a tweet as well. I don't remember what I said exactly, but at the end of the day, it boils down to bruised egos. It sucks for us, but there isn't anything. I mean, nothing tangible really happened. Like, we didn't just lose a buttload of money. The club isn't damaged beyond repair because of this. Like, all we lost is a little bit, our cheeks are a little bit red right now. We've got some egg on our face. That's all that happened at the end of the day. And it's not as bad as some people are experiencing it right now. I think it just comes down to they can't.
We need to get the right guy.
We need to get the right guy, but the situation hasn't changed. That was the case regardless. And then some news is coming out today about one of my personal favorites, Razvan Lucescu.
I think Lucescu's kind of everyone's personal favourite. The reason being is my brother's made a great point in our group chat, Özcan.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, I found out that apparently it's not pronounced Razvan, it's pronounced Rizvan Lucescu. I found that. So that's interesting. But it's one, if it was to come, then we know how to pronounce it properly.
Yeah.
To be honest, it seems like
we do our due diligence.
Yeah. But Özcan made a great point in our group chat. I mean, even just talking to me personally in the car the other day when we were going out for my wife's birthday dinner on Tuesday, he said Rizvan Lucescu is the only candidate that gets the approval. That's the word. The approval of the Şenolcu Taifa. Yeah, the people that want Şenol Güneş, the people that want Sergen, the people that want a big name foreign coach, and the people that want a younger and kind of coach with a lot of potential that's not as proven.
He's kind of in the middle at his age.
Every single group is kind of said, look, this guy would be good with all approval of him. So to me, I think that was a golden opportunity to put everything right. Pay the €4 million release clause and give him a good yearly salary.
I don't think it's that easy though. Because Özcan made the point in the group chat, like, he makes $1.5 million a year at PAOK, give him $3 million and he'll come. I don't think it's that simple. I have a friend who has ties with both Mircea Lucescu and Rizvan Lucescu, and the sense I'm getting is that Rizvan is not going to be tempted by just money. He's done that before. He went to Saudi. And what he said to me was, I think the only thing that's gonna tempt him away from PAOK is a much bigger club, and I think Beşiktaş is a much bigger club. Just to be clear, we are. I mean, with all due respect for PAOK, I think PAOK is a fantastic football club. But I mean, PAOK is number 4 in Greece at best, and Beşiktaş is a generational historical club in Turkey with trophy cabinets.
I mean, you're talking
5 times the size of PAOK's, right?
Yeah, you're talking 21 national championships. These 4. It's a big difference.
Yeah, exactly.
I added a 5 from pre-56. just to inflate the number a wee bit, but still.
No, but that is. I think that is very valid. Like for me, I've been saying this for years. Like I don't understand why we don't count everything before 57.
Yeah.
57, I think, or 56. No, 57. I think we won Milikume in 57 and 58 or something, or was it 56?
I think it was 50. I think it's 56, 57. So that's why the 56 comes from. So like, because the first half.
Yeah. So it's like and it's not just that we have like 11 Turkish cups, we have 10 Super Cups, we have so many different trophies in our cabinets.
Istanbul leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah, we not just that, also like just a presence in Europe for decades. Again, PAOK, terrific club. I'm extremely happy they won the Greek league.
Yeah.
If I would ever have to pick a Greek club, it would be PAOK without a shadow of a doubt. But
West Ties, by the way, they are a sister club to us. And there was actually a feature. There was a feature on Beşiktaş TV about 10 years ago, or more than 10, about 12 years ago, about that.
About the Beşiktaş flag in the PAOK stands.
Yeah, so they are a sister club of ours.
Yeah, I mean they are literally people that were forced to move out of Istanbul in the 1920s and formed the club, reformed the club, I should say, because it was an Istanbul-based club, reformed it in Thessaloniki. So yeah, for sure, like there's a connection there, and it's all due respect in the world. Like I don't want to disrespect PAOK at all, but Beşiktaş is a much bigger club, but. Does Rizvan see it as like Beşiktaş is a bigger club, but is it a big enough step to tempt him away from there? That's the question. Like because
that's like his comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's won 2 championships there now. He's a god there. Like he knows how volatile Turkey is, And if he leaves them again, maybe I don't know. Like
maybe they won't take him back.
You would think they would, but like I just think it's not as simple as some people are putting it. Just give him the money and he'll come. I don't think it's that simple. I think the project needs to be enticing. The chances of doing something need to be enticing. Like, I mean, he sees also what's going on. He sees Galatasaray and Fenerbahçe ran away with it this season, 46-point gap. Now Fenerbahçe bringing in José Mourinho, probably going to invest ridiculous amounts of money into their squad. He sees that too. He needs to see an opportunity to be successful, and it all depends a little bit on what the expectations are going to be from the fans.
I'll put this to you, Cam, right? Think about this, right? Historically great club like yours, more than a 40-point gap last season. Do you not think that'd be a great challenge and a great success story if within 1 or 2 years, if he could win us a title within the next 2 years, given the gap, and then just bringing us back to that place of glory? Do you not think that'd be a great challenge? That could really be a great thing to put on his resume?
Yeah, I think it would, but like. The question is how much, like, he knows how volatile Turkey is. Like, how much time is he going to get to build? And I don't know. Like, I think it's not as black and white as some people make it out to be. I don't think it's simple. Yeah. If you watch the video I did the other day when I talked about the managers, I even said you remember I said something along the lines of aiming high, and I said literally Rizvan Lucescu is aiming high. That is. Yeah. That's not someone that's just going to come, That's not someone begging for a job. You're literally talking about a coach who just won the league in a very comparable league of a very comparable level. Yeah, like very similar financially as well. Like, I mean, if he's making $1.5 million a year, that's a lot of money. And like I said, he's gone to Saudi before. He's cashed in already in the past. Like, does he need? Is 3 million euros guaranteed really gonna be enough to tempt him away? I think he's gonna need more than that. Like, and I'm not saying he's not gonna come, right? Because now we see. I think Serjan Dikme said something along the lines of they met and it's 99% sure he's not coming.
Yeah, I mean the bad thing is not just Tajan. Yas Abunjolo also said that he rejected their offer. Mm-hmm. So it is looking pretty negative. But as you know, in terms of Turkish sources, Yaz is probably the best it gets, but at the same time, he's been wrong about Beşiktaş during this Hasan Arat era, as has Sercan Dikme, who was prior, under Ahmet Nurçebi, the most reliable Beşiktaş journalist.
Yeah.
These guys have gotten it wrong several times since Hasan Arat and his board have caved the power.
Yeah.
So it could happen again. So you can never say for sure that it's off the table, because you just don't know that with this board.
When was it, yesterday or the day before, when everyone was saying Rizvan Lucescu is done, like he's coming, blah blah blah, I fact checked and I asked my friend, and he told me he asked Lucescu himself, and he did say, okay, he doesn't really say things outright, but he did say, as of now, no concrete offer has been made, like other than a little bit of contact through an agent.
Agents, yeah.
Nothing has happened. And that was when everyone was saying, like, they met face to face, it's done, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm not. People weren't really saying it's done, but they're saying it as if it's going to happen. No one said that. Oh, he's at Beşiktaş, but there was the way the talks were within the kind of by the duyumcus, like the what we call ITKs in English, supposedly people that are supposedly in the know, even though most of them, they don't know shit. They're just talking.
I have the impression people don't know shit at all. But then one really important detail: Sercan Dikme said they met face to face in Thessaloniki, right? That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
So I asked, where is Rizvan Lucescu right now? Is he in Greece? No, he's not in Greece. I said, okay, where is he? He's in Bucharest right now. Okay, how long has he been in Bucharest? Since the 24th of May, and he has not gone back to Greece. So for the last...
Another thing to know, just to, obviously can, like, your source, you trust them, but just to give a bit of background and evidence as to why your source is correct, Rizvan Lucescu was on Romanian TV yesterday. So that further backs up the fact that he's not in Greece, he's in Romania. He was on a studio TV show yesterday in Romania. Yeah. So that proves what you're saying. It also proves that Sercan was wrong. So
for the last 7 days, he has been in Romania since the 24th of May. That's a whole week. And I think Sercan tweeted this yesterday or something, and he said, like, they met yesterday in Thessaloniki. Something like that. Yeah. So 2 days ago, supposedly. So that is 100% not correct. Maybe he got his sources wrong and they met in Romania. That's possible. Another friend of mine said that somebody told him that they met in Bucharest yesterday. So that is possible.
That's possible, yeah.
But they definitely did not meet in Thessaloniki. That is 100% bullshit. So, and yesterday is when I asked about whether there's been any rumblings, any contact, and then I got the answer: no contact.
Only through agents, and it also didn't confirm what club it was. They didn't even say it was Beşiktaş.
Yeah, so that's what I was told yesterday. So I don't know. Like, I'm not in the know. I just know a couple of people who know a couple of people. I ask them. I trust these people. And I see a lot of stuff being written on Twitter. I don't claim to know anything. Like, this is just what I'm told. I don't know. I wasn't privy to any of these negotiations, all that. Yeah. But like, I have a very hard time. Like, look at how many people are putting these Özels, these exclusives out there every day. Bam, bam, bam. Yesterday, like, there's this account. I don't even know what it's called. It's like I don't know, something 1903 Eagle, blah blah blah. I don't know. Like 35, 40k followers or something. And like, for the last couple of weeks, Özel. Yesterday they had a space up. I listened in for a couple of minutes. A guy asked him, "Oh, Abi, is there any chance for Jürgen Klopp?" This guy with a straight fucking face. Yes, there is a chance. There is a chance. I just closed it straight away. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not wasting my fucking brain power on this, man. I'm closing this."
Yeah. Like, I mean, why do you not believe it, Ken? Of course, Klopp would come out of a 1 year sabbatical to come and coach us.
Exactly.
Of course, he changed his mind.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no other better opportunity than coming to coach Beşiktaş.
Yeah, exactly.
That was sarcasm if anyone didn't notice.
The man who is drained and needs time off, who doesn't even know if he's gonna get back into coaching. He's going to blow all that up and he's gonna come to Beşiktaş for sure. I think there's just so many people at the moment vying for clout on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. You're a Beşiktaş fan. Why would you want to fuck with other Beşiktaş fans' heads? Why do you do that? I don't understand.
I mean, for these verified accounts that'll get a lot of mentions, they can earn some money. A lot of people who don't get that, they don't earn money, so I don't know, maybe they just like the fucking attention, man, because really it's quite sad, to be honest.
It is really,
to be honest, it's very sad, and you need to kind of question as to what kind of people these people are, if they want to fool other people and get people's hopes up. And when most of the time, and to be honest, recently it's all been kind of not true, just bullshit, and people are kind of being left like...
and you know what the worst part of it is that people are so desperate for reliable information, but there's no reliable information out there anymore because essentially the club closed the faucet. Like they said, nothing anymore. Like Dikme isn't getting news. Clearly Sercan Dikme is just like, I mean, he went from like I don't know, like I want to say like an 80% record of being on the ball to he's back to what he used to be.
A clown.
Yeah.
Essentially.
He's just and I don't think it, I mean, I realize the irony, guys. Like, we have a YouTube show, but like the difference is we aren't making any money off of this. We're just doing this out of the love because we love Beşiktaş, and we that's why we do this. But Sercan Dikme, Firat Günayer, like Ertan Süzgün, even Murat Özen, all these guys, like even Murat Özen, like who loves Beşiktaş, just like he's making a lot of money on this. Like that's just the way it is. They make a shit ton of money, and they have their daily shows, and they have to get views. So every day they have to come up with stuff. They have to get a hook to reel you in. Like that's.
I mean, we're just regular guys with regular jobs. Kaan's a freelance journalist. I'm a remote worker for a call centre. We're just regular guys with regular jobs, just doing this as a hobby. It's a job of passion, not one for monetary gain.
Exactly, and we don't claim to have scoops. Like, that's not like you're watching us because just you like listening to our rants, I guess.
Yeah, you might think our takes are interesting or or good or
share. We have a common ground. I feel like a lot of our viewers and our listeners, I think, very on similar pages. Not 100%, of course. We have differing opinions, which is normal. I think it's also like it's only interesting if you and me were talking, like if we're all just saying, oh yeah, I agree, you are 100%. No, it's better if you have a little bit of a differing opinion. But
our most successful episode, the Mourinho episode, I got a lot of good feedback on that. Well, from my brother, he said that was the best episode that we'd ever done because me and you actually had a bit of a debate. A lot of the time we're kind of agreeing too much. But because me and you had a bit of a debate about Mourinho, that made that a bit more engaging and interesting. So, I mean, the debate's one of the funniest parts of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the same thing here. Like, I'm a little bit less, like... I mean, that's why I asked Özcan to come on, because he's a lot more outspoken. Like, he's a lot more pissed off than you are, I get the impression. Like, you are a little bit more nuanced, but Özcan was, like, fuming, from the ears. Like, that's why I'm like, come on the show, bro. Let's hash this out. Because, like, we, basically the entire day were, like, arguing in the group chat, and we are doing exactly what, just talking shit over. And, like, but that's, I think that could be interesting to some people. Because also just... I think it might be interesting to people just to see, like, I'm not the only one who feels like this. I'm not the only one who's fucking pissed off right now. You know what I mean? I think, and I 100% think it's a good thing that fans are showing they are pissed off, because that's the only way that this kind of stuff will be avoided in the future. Like,
exactly. See if you show no reaction, and you're quiet all the time, they'll just keep doing the same shit. But see when you show a reaction, then they'll be, oh, we better watch. Like I'm 100% sure. I turned to both of them. He's like, look, guys, I promised that we wouldn't do this when I was elected. The fans didn't vote for this. I told them that all the news that here would be through the official club's channels, that no news would be leaked to the press, and one of my board members has went and done it. But this isn't happening again, because this isn't what these people supported, and it's not what they voted for. And if we continue doing this, we'll end up like Ahmed Nushebi and we'll have to call an early election. He doesn't want that to happen, so I'm sure he will learn from this.
Yeah,
I'm sure of that. And I really hope Hüseyin Yücel will learn from this as well.
I think the fact that he tweeted and his reaction was pretty quick. Like, he didn't wait 2 days. Like
a week.
Yeah, exactly. It took him like an hour and a half or something, and he put something out.
Yeah.
And I think that's a positive sign. Even though there was no apology, I think it's still a positive sign. Like, another friend of ours made the point of, this is Turkey, and the fact alone that he puts this out is an apology, is what he said. And
he said that.
Yeah, I can kind of see what he means. Like, is it enough? I'd still like an apology. I mean, not for me personally, but just for the fans. Like, I think it would be really good to inspire confidence, or to regain that lost confidence, because I think they obviously they missed, they dropped the ball a little bit with the Santos appointment. They kind of regained with Mucci and Al Musrati. I think they scored a lot of points there. They obviously scored points with winning the cup, but then they also, like in March, Hüseyin Yücel also said, like, we're very close to finalizing a deal for a central defender and a right back, and it's been radio silence on that. Now, obviously, they might not want to announce any new players coming in before the coach is appointed, because maybe they wanna get the coach to sign off on that. Like, who knows? So that's not that bad, but then, like, I don't know. Oh, what do you think about this Talisca thing now, by the way? Because Fenerbahçe, Aziz Yildirim said Talisca wants to come. What do you think of that? Would you be upset if he goes to Fenerbahçe?
I don't care. They can have him if they want.
Yeah.
I think Talisca, he's 30 years old. He's been playing in China in the sandbox for 6 years now. Like, he's how do we know he's that same guy that he was for us like six and a half years ago?
Yeah.
How do we know he's that same guy? There's no way of finding that out. We saw Teixeira, albeit he was out for 6-7 months before he signed, but that guy lit the Chinese league on fire every season. But he came to us and was a shell of the player he was. I mean, he did show flashes of that technique, but physically the guy was done. He was cooked. He couldn't keep up.
But then if you look at Hulk, for example, on the other side of the other flip of the coin, like, he's been, I mean, since Sergen wanted him in, what was it, January 21?
21, yeah.
He scored like 100+ goals in the Brazilian league. Like, so
the way you need to look at it, though, Kaan, is look at Hulk. That guy's a physical specimen. You can tell he looks after himself.
Yeah,
but Talisca's just a skinny wee guy, So, like, Hulk, all you need to do is look at Hulk to know that this guy's looking after himself. Whereas for Talisca, there's not really a way of gauging that. Only thing we can say, he's still skinny. He's not gone fat, but that's it.
That's true. I mean, for me, like, first and foremost, like, you have a lot of Beşiktaş fans right now who's like, oh, bring Talisca, like, every window. But, like, guys, where are we gonna put Talisca? We have Ernest Mucci right now. Like, if you let's say Aston Villa comes, they offer 25 million, and we sell Ernest Mucci. Okay, no problem. You have to replace Mucci. But then, do you bring in Talisca? Because, like, you have to, like, look, I think if you bring Talisca and the money is acceptable, like, 3.5 million a year or something, which is a lot of money.
That's not going to happen.
No, exactly. Like, if he comes, that's going to be 7, 8, 9 million a year. Like, can you
10? He's on 12 just now.
Yeah, can you justify paying a player that's been 6 years in, like you said, in China, in Saudi Arabia, in a significantly lower level? Can you justify paying a player that type of money. It's a big risk. I mean, obviously, Talisca was amazing when he played for us, and he is doing really well in Saudi. So maybe
so is Kevin and Kudun, so is Bernard Mensah though. So that's why it's not a good measuring stick. You know,
that's true. Yeah, but it's really dangerous. He could come and he could be amazing still. I wouldn't
be that guy again.
I would not rule that out at all. But I think it's a big risk if you're going to make that type of an investment. If you're going to pay this guy 7, 8, 9 million a year, that's all your money you made on Mucci. That's gone, eh? We paid 10 million for Mucci. They have 10% sell on.
I'm going to make a statement here. This is probably I think it's accurate, but it'd be deemed a hot take, I reckon, within the Beşiktaş community.
Mm-hmm.
A player like Anderson Talisca doesn't win you league titles, but he'll win you games. That's what I think. What do you think?
I think Anderson Talisca is he's one of the best players that has played for us. I don't think that's going out on a limb. But
he's one of the most talented players that's played for us, but he's got a lot of holes in the game. His game.
He is
not very poor at short passes.
I don't know.
Goals a lot.
I don't know how effective Talisca is when you don't have Quaresma. Because how many goals has he scored that Talisca with a paintbrush put on his head? How many? Like almost all his Champions League goals, right?
Yeah, and also probably more than half of his league goals in that second season. In the first season, we saw more of a different kind of repertoire of goals, but the vast majority of his goals were like headers in that second season.
Yeah. So then you have to look at our squad right now. Like, I don't think we have a player like that at the moment. Fenerbahce have Tadic. We don't have a Tadic type. We had Gazal, but Gazal's gone, and obviously we found out we couldn't really rely on Gazal anymore because of his physical state. Like, so, I mean, look, obviously I want us to get a player like that this season. I think it's really important that we get a playmaker on the wings. But at the moment, we don't have one. So... And if you bring in Talisca and then you go and get like a goal-scoring winger, I think you don't really then that doesn't work.
You don't benefit from Talisca.
Yeah, you don't benefit as much from Talisca. So I don't even think that. I mean, obviously we have a lot of transfers to make this season, but like at the moment we don't. I don't think Talisca fits us. I think Fenerbahce, I think Talisca. If they
don't even need him either. They need to sell Szymanski first. If they don't sell Szymanski,
that's also true.
You're bloating that squad.
Yeah, that's also true. But I mean, I think Szymanski is somebody they could easily sell.
They could probably sell him for at least 15-20.
Yeah, I think they could get a nice amount of money on him. Like, I think Talisca for Fenerbahce makes sense, but I don't think right now Talisca makes sense for Beşiktaş. So now Beşiktaş fans are like, don't let him go there. You have to sign him. But I think that would be stupid from our.
I think that's just casual fans being casual fans, you know, and not very smart, not very informed. They're just trapped in that nostalgia, which was the great 2 seasons that Talisca played for us. They forget about those mistakes, not mistakes. They forget about his shortcoments in time, his lack of abilities and play.
I think
great long passer, great doing the diagonal balls across the park, but his short passes were very poor. He'd often ghost in games.
He obviously he compensated for that, but I think his biggest flaw was his sometimes lack of professionalism, right?
I mean, he turned up to the training camp in 17-18 about 2 weeks late.
Yeah. And he had a really poor first half of the season, you know, other than his Champions League where he
done well in the Champions League. He scored 4 and 6.
He did well, but in the league he did terribly. I think he scored 1 goal or something in the league in the first half of the season.
It was 3 goals in 17 games compared to 11 and 17 in the second half.
So if he would have actually shown up in those first 17 games, if he would have actually...
We win that league.
Exactly. We win the league. And that's the thing, he was a very important player for us back then. He was instrumental, and he didn't show up for the first half of the season, and we lost the championship in that first half of the season. Because
the second half we were brilliant. We got 41 points.
Yeah, we were by far the better team in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and see the there's this one argument. Talisca jest Beşiktaş kesin şampiyon olur. Yani ben bir de hoca olsam Beşiktaş şampiyon olur. Like, there's that kind of debate where I don't know if you understood that, but people are saying, if Talisca comes to Beşiktaş, we're 100% champions. Even if I'm the coach, we'll still be champions, which is a bullshit take. Because this guy, the last 3 years, has been part of a star of the team in Saudi and hasn't won the Saudi League once. So to say that this guy guarantees a league title is bullshit. He played for us for 2 years. The first year we won the league title. Second year we ended fourth, but it was only 4 points off. It's like saying we're fourth isn't a good way to look at that season because we only missed out on 4 points. Normally, if you're 4 points behind, you're second. And that one game in the Tete Arena was a 6-pointer. Had we won that, we would have taken over Galatasaray because we were 1 point behind going into it. We took it, if we won it, we were 2 points ahead. If we won because we lost, we went 4 behind. But we lost the season. We lost that season by 1 game, but we really, in the history books, what I would say, it says we ended fourth. So to say that he guarantees championships, that's bullshit.
I agree. I don't think he's that type of player. Like he is a clutch player. Don't get me wrong, and he's gonna win you. I mean, if you put the right people around him, he has the capability of winning you big games and winning you a lot of points over the season. I definitely think he can help win you a championship. But again, you need the right people around him, and Did I make this point the other day? I don't remember, but like he's the type of player you need to build around him because he is not someone you can just slot into any team. Like I don't even think he like I said, I think he makes sense for Fenerbahçe, but I don't know if he makes sense for Mourinho. Like I don't know. I'm not so sure about whether Mourinho would like Talisca because Talisca's kind of lazy, and Mourinho doesn't like lazy players, especially not in his midfield.
Definitely.
Like people might say, like he likes goal-scoring midfielders because he had Frank Lampard. And
Lampard,
sure.
I was going to say that.
But Lampard
worked his ass off.
Exactly, and that's not Talisca. So I don't know if that actually suits Mourinho.
Lampard didn't have any of the deficiencies. Like Talisca had. There's a reason why Talisca was a player that showed great potential but went to like China and the sandbox, and why Frank Lampard's one of the greatest midfielders of all time because they both are great goal scoring midfielders, but Talisca has the efficiencies. Frank Lampard didn't have that, so that's why he's one of the best midfielders ever. So I mean the comparison ends just after goal scoring midfielder. After that, there's no more comparison to be made there. If you ask me.
On that note, I think we can call it Kartal, unless you have anything else to talk about.
There's one last piece in the news that I think we should talk about.
Sure.
So Sercan Dikme, as we've just said, that although under Ranchi was the most reputable Beşiktaş journalist, that he's not as reputable just now. We don't really know who is just anymore, if anyone. But his latest news is that Slaven Bilic or Sergen Yalçın are now the two front runners to become Beşiktaş's coach. So I want to know your thoughts on that, Ken.
I think no ex-coaches. No ex-coaches. That's my thoughts on that. Slaven Bilic hasn't done anything since leaving since leaving West Brom. Like he has been like look at we looked at it yesterday. I don't know if I still have the graphic in my phone.
Yeah, his points per game has been
his points per game is horrible. And don't get me wrong, I think Bilic actually did a really good job at Beşiktaş. Rebuilding. Job. So, at Beşiktaş, he was in charge of 89 games and he had 1.82 points per game. So then he left Beşiktaş, he went to West Ham, 109 games, 1.43. Then he went to Al Ittihad, 19 games in charge, 1.21. Then he went to West Brom. That's the last time he did okay. 65 games, 1.52. I believe he won promotion to the Premier League with them.
But I think he was sacked the next year though.
Yeah, he was sacked the next year. So then the next season, 22 games in charge at BJ Juan, that's in China.
Chinese team.
Yeah, so 1.5 points per game, 22 matches, sacked after 22 matches. Then Watford, he was in charge for 26 games, 1.42 points per game. And then now his last job at Al Fatah in Bahrain. He has been in charge for 36 games, 1.33 points per game. Now, look, I am not an expert on these teams. I don't know the squads and the players he had available and all that. And of course, that is important. But let's be honest, guys. If you look at Slaven Bilic's career, other than Croatia, other than Beşiktaş, and other than West Brom and maybe the first season at West Ham, he has had a very hit and miss. Like, he hasn't had a great coaching career. Like, this isn't a great coach.
He was seen as a coach that had a lot of potential, but it seems like it hasn't really panned out for him. It didn't go as planned. The first year at West Ham, he actually done phenomenal. He ended in the top 6, but after that, there was a big fall off that resulted in him getting sacked. So it was a kind of tale of two halves at West Ham. First season great, second season shit, and was sacked quite near the start of the third season. West Brom gets promoted, but then the next year when he's in the Premier League gets sacked. Everywhere else it's been a failure.
Did he still have Edin Terzic the first season at West Ham as his assistant?
I think he did. So I think maybe that's it. Maybe that's a big reason as to why he fell off.
Might be. Because, I mean, obviously Edin Terzic now, coach of Borussia Dortmund, and they're in the Champions League final. And, you know, sometimes, I mean, I remember when we were talking about Sergen back in the day, and when Çağdaş left him, the talk was that that the coaching staff, the level of the coaching staff suffered severely under that, and that things went downhill after that. I don't remember exactly when it was Çağdaş left. Was that at the beginning of the 21-22 season?
No, it was the 2021 season. So that was kind of quickly squashed because obviously we
won the league.
Yeah. But I mean, I think, is that true? Yeah, it's true. I think Çağdaş is a great coach. So I think for Sergen not to have him in his team is a big loss.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Obviously, is it the later proof that Sergen could do it without him? Of course, he ended that season. The season he left that summer, and that following season, Çağdaş done a very good job at Alanya, but Beşiktaş won the league and the cup. So it proves that Sergen could do it without him as well. The next year we did suffer, of course, as everyone knows. It went horribly, but Sergen can definitely do it without him. But to say that he can do it without him, but also that was a big loss for him as well, I think, because Çağdaş is a great coach.
So what do you think about Slaven Bilic and Sergen? Like, I think first and foremost, I think he's talking shit. Just to be clear, like, I mean, I
hope so.
Like, he's been saying for weeks, he was saying Sergen is front runner, and then suddenly Sergen completely disappeared out of the news, and now he's back again because feels like it's something he.
I mean, he went from like Nuri, Sergen, Channel, then all of a sudden Palladino and Italiano, the two Italian coaches into it, and then all of a sudden they were out, and Razvan came in. We know for a fact the meeting in Rizvan, the meeting in Thessaloniki didn't happen because he was in Bucharest, and now he's saying that it's Sergen or Bilic. So we can't say he's too reliable just now at all. But what I will say is, though, is Bilic done a phenomenal job for us in the 2 years he was with us. I appreciate him for that as well. But he also showed that, I mean, you could argue if the stadium was built in time, if he had the squad that Chanel had the year later, maybe he could have won the league. We did see a lack of kind of ruthlessness in what we call, you referred to who was it he called clutch earlier on, Talisca. He said Talisca's clutch. We saw that lack of clutch ability from Bilic. I mean, he puts out Liverpool and loses to Bruges. For most of the season, we were top of that league in 14-15. With five games to go, we drop off. We end third. So he didn't win any derbies as well in the 2 years. So in those key moments, he showed a bit of he choked. I mean, the referees did screw us over, but there was times you could tell that he just kind of lacked a bit of balls.
The
derbies, some cojones in those big games.
The derbies, I don't blame him for the derbies because I think we got screwed quite badly in a couple of those matches. But except for you remember that game in Kadıköy that I think the one where Musa scores
1-1.
No, I think 1-0.
We lost 1-0.
The one where Emenike stormed off. That's one we should.
That's right. I remember.
That's one we should have won, but we somehow.
They were on the ropes.
Yeah. But somehow
we dominated the full game. Yeah. They were on the ropes, and then they get a last minute goal. That's right. I remember it now. Was that so?
And then but like for the most part, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, he couldn't win any derbies. I think he was unlucky in some of those derbies. But what I do find more important is the choking against Akhisar. I think against Antep. Yeah. Like those moments, those are much worse in my opinion, because those are games you should be winning. And those are games he just, completely shut the bed. I
felt with these pre-game pressers, although he gave Fenerbahçe and Galatasaray too much respect, as if, these guys are better than us, they're above us, which I didn't like that at all. Like, we saw a big difference in Şenol Güneş's approach the year after that. But also another question mark with him is, did they sell us out? Like, can we really trust the guy? I thought he was a brilliant coach.
Yeah,
he suited the club.
I agree.
Played some great football. There is that question in everyone's head, is did they actually sell us out? Obviously, because that is the rumour that he agreed towards the end of the season, after we knocked out Liverpool, to go and sign with West Ham. So there's that question mark in everyone's head. Did they throw the end of the league deliberately to go to West Ham?
Yeah, and not just that. Do you also remember, like, there were some rumblings that he also kind of made Gökhan Töre's head crazy, and that Töre insisted on leaving to West Ham as well the season after, because Bilic had promised to take him, and that would have been fine if West Ham would have forked out the money, but they ended up just loaning him. They paid a big loan fee, like almost 4 million or something, but but still, like,
it was a year too late. We should have see, really, he should have been sold for 20 to West Ham in 2015.
Yeah, but back then they weren't paying that type of money for players from the Super League. They just weren't.
But I think off that 14-15 performance, it was worth it, because it was that year after that where he started getting injury problems.
Yeah.
And then he went there and he had more injury problems, and then his career just kind of went to shit.
Yeah. Had he gone there the summer earlier and maybe gotten his operation with a non-butcher, then he might still
have had a completely different career.
He could have still been playing football right now instead of. I think he's retired now, is he not? And he's only 31.
Yeah, he's only 32 in August, I think, and there's talks of him retiring. Yeah. So I don't want. I mean, Sergen obviously very successful. 2021 had a great double winning season. Fell apart the year after. The question mark out with Sergen is that I don't think he's a long-term solution, like 2+ years. And also, as much as I think he is, he's got great characteristics as a coach. Yeah. I think he needs to work on himself and get a better team around him. So until that happens, and until we see that improvement, because Sergen isn't the Sergen before he came to Beşiktaş just now. Sergen done a good job at every team he went to before he came to us. We both agree on that. He done a great job.
He did good,
and at that point, the fans all wanted him. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the fans still want him now, but I don't think you can sign Sergen after the period he's had at Italia, where it's been a bit of a disaster. I don't think that's right. And I think at one point he should come back.
I don't think it's been as bad as you're making it out to be, but yeah. I mean, Italia this season, I don't know.
No, there was a clear drop off compared to Nuri Sahin, but I think
there was. Yeah,
you can't deny that.
That's true. Yeah. There's been a drop off for sure. I also think Adam Buksa had some stuff to say, like, he said he didn't say it, but he said it. Like, he was indirectly saying that he wasn't happy with what happened at the club after the coach change.
Yeah. It's a shame. Yeah.
I mean, Sergen is one of my heroes, but like, I don't even want him. Like, would I be super duper upset if he came?
No.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I would be disappointed, because I would be disappointed in Arad, and I would be disappointed in the board, because I feel like they promised us change, and I feel like going back to Sergen would be just that. Yeah, that's not.
Or Bilic or Şenol for that matter, or any other coach.
Like, I mean, Şenol, I would be completely losing my marbles. Sergen, I would be annoyed. I would not be happy, but like I guess there's a place where I could find peace with that, but Şenol, oh my god, I don't know, man. Like,
that can't happen. everyone knows I do love Cheryl Greshman, but the guy's 72 years old. He fucked his last summer. He needs to retire and play with his grandkids. So we don't want that.
Doesn't seem like he wants to though. Like seems like he is not. I mean, some people like look at Lucescu, right? Like he's not retiring.
Guys,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't want those two guys. I do hope we could still pull something off, like get like a Knutson or a Palladino or an Italiano.
We still have plenty of time. Let's be honest. Like
we've got a couple of weeks to
the season starts on the 1st of July. I think if you take the next week or two to find a coach, I mean, if you push it 3 weeks.
3 falls too much. 2 weeks, we should have a coach.
I think.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I think. When do the training sessions start in Nefsa Demir? Is that the 1st?
1st of July. 1st of July. Yeah. So the coach will need time to come and prepare. So I think by the 15th of June, if we don't have a coach,
that would be ideal.
Bad.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to have a coach by next week. But the 15th, I think it should be the deadline.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because you also need to bring in players. Like obviously, like we have a lot of things to do. Like a lot of players to bring in. So there's a lot of stuff to be done. But like they still have time. There's no need to panic yet. Like. If we don't have a coach by the 15th of June, then I think we can start getting nervous. But it's still the 31st of May right now. They still have a good 2 weeks. And let's hope that within the next week or so. I mean, like, Fatih Doğan broke the news yesterday, I think, that Salih Uçan had extended by 2 plus 1 years. And then he also said that they are expecting, or they are hoping to make an announcement by Wednesday. So... Yeah. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Like, let's hope that the news on Rizvan Lucescu is inaccurate. But if it's not, look, I've said it before. I am completely fine with Nuri Şahin. I'm fine with that.
I'm not big on Nuri, man. But if it's to be like Cheryl or Bilic or Sergei, I'd rather Nuri. But I want him to come with Devin Uzek. Like, I think that two young guys, the director of football and the coach. I think it does show promise. So although like Nuri Şahin didn't have a spectacular spell at Antalyaspor, but as Özcan said in our group chat, I think the fact that if a coach has been able to stay at an adult team for almost 2.5 years without getting sacked, I think that's a huge success in its own right.
It certainly is, especially at a team like Antalya as well, who have been known to have some issues financially and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'll do Kartal because we've been going for nearly an hour. I meant for this to be like a half-hour thing or something. So
we get carried away, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, if our listeners are willing to watch us rant, then why not, right? Or our viewers.
I'm sure they will, man.
Yeah. Okay. We've been getting some positive feedback at least. So if you enjoy this type of content, let us know. This isn't like, obviously this isn't a full production glamour episode. Those will still come, don't worry. But like this is
just two pals having a chat. That's all this was.
Exactly. This is basically us having a WhatsApp conversation with cameras. So yeah, if you like this type of content, please let us know. If you want to have any more of it. Or similar content like this, give us a shout, drop us a like, comment, give us a subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Peace out.